Have you ever met someone who feels slightly out of season? Not in a dramatic way, just quietly different. Like they're standing in winter sunlight while everyone else is rushing towards spring. People born in February often have that energy. Calm but intense. Friendly but distant. Present, yet somehow elsewhere. You might notice it in small things. The way they drift into deep conversations when everyone else is still making small talk. The way they can sit alone without looking lonely. The way they celebrate your weirdness instead of questioning it. And if you are one of them, maybe you've felt it your whole life, that subtle sense of being just a little ahead, or a little outside of the crowd. Before we talk psychology, before we use any big words, let's just admit something. There's something quietly unconventional about February souls, and it's not random. February sits between seasons. It belongs to winter, yet it hints at change. That in-between quality often mirrors the inner world of people born during this month. Let's start with independence. Many February-born individuals display early psychological autonomy. Research in personality development suggests that people who feel different in childhood often cultivate strong internal worlds. They learn to think independently because blending in never felt natural. Have you ever noticed how February-born friends tend to question rules instead of automatically following them? They're not rebellious for attention. They're curious. Why does this rule exist? Who decided this is normal? This aligns with higher openness to experience, a big 5 personality trait associated with creativity, imagination, and unconventional thinking. Studies show that individuals high in openness are more likely to challenge norms, value originality, and tolerate ambiguity. That's February energy. Comfortable in gray areas. Suspicious of rigid boxes, but independence has layers. On the surface, they seem self-contained. They can spend hours alone working on a project, reading, creating, thinking. Beneath that, a surprisingly deep emotional current. Here's where it gets interesting. Many February-born individuals demonstrate heightened empathic sensitivity, but selectively. They don't broadcast their emotions dramatically. Instead, they observe, quietly. You'll see it in how they notice the person is being excluded in a group setting. Or how they send a random, "Are you okay?" text days after sensing something was off. Psychologist Elaine Aron's research on highly sensitive persons suggests that some individuals process stimuli more deeply, both emotionally and cognitively. While birth month alone doesn't determine sensitivity, cultural astrology and personality narratives often shape identity formation. If someone grows up hearing that they're different or unique, they may lean into reflective and introspective traits more consciously. And February-born people often hear exactly that, which brings us to contradiction. Have you ever tried to truly understand someone born in February? It can feel like trying to hold water in your hands. They are warm until they're distant. Deeply caring, yet fiercely protective of their space. Loyal but allergic to control. This paradox reflects what attachment theory describes as avoidant autonomous tendencies in some individuals. Not because they don't crave closeness, but because autonomy feels like oxygen. They want connection. They just don't want to disappear inside it. That's why many February-born individuals struggle with being misread. People interpret their quiet as coldness, their need for solitude as rejection, their unconventional ideas as impractical. Solitude isn't isolation, it's recalibration. Let's talk creativity. Statistical observations have found higher representation of late winter births among artists and innovators. While causation is debated, the psychological pattern makes sense. Long winter months often correspond to introspection. Symbolically, February represents incubation, ideas forming beneath frozen ground. Have you noticed how February-born people often live in their heads? Not in an anxious way, in a visionary way. They can imagine possibilities others haven't considered yet. They can sit with uncertainty without panicking, well, mostly because here's the shadow. February-born individuals may replay conversations, analyze tone shifts, question their own intensity. Was I too much? Did I say the wrong thing? That analytical depth that makes them insightful can also make them self-critical. Cognitive psychology calls this rumination, repetitive thought patterns focused on past interactions. Research shows rumination is linked to higher intelligence and creativity, but also to anxiety vulnerability. The same brain that sees possibilities also sees potential threats, so they learn something powerful, emotional self-regulation, instead of dramatic outbursts. Many February-born individuals internalize and process. They journal. They withdraw briefly. They think. They re-emerge composed. To outsiders, it looks effortless. Inside, it was a storm managed quietly. Let's shift to relationships. If you've loved someone born in February, you know this: once you're in, you're in. They don't attach lightly. But when they do, loyalty runs deep. Not loud, not performative, steady, yet they fear emotional confinement. They need partners who respect their individuality. Research on self-determination theory shows that autonomy is a core psychological need alongside competence and relatedness. When autonomy is threatened, even secure individuals may withdraw. So when a February-born person pulls back, ask yourself, are they detaching or just breathing? And here's something beautiful. They are often ahead of their time emotionally because they spend so much time observing, reflecting, questioning. They develop strong moral frameworks. They care about fairness, social issues, humanity. They may not post about it constantly, but it lives inside them. Quiet conviction. But conviction can look like stubbornness. When they believe something deeply, persuasion won't move them easily. This trait aligns with internal locus of control, the belief that one's life is shaped more by internal decisions than external forces. Studies link this to resilience and long-term achievement. February-born individuals often display resilience in a subtle way. They don't dramatize hardship. They adapt. Change jobs? Fine. Move cities? Sure. Emotional disappointment? They'll sit with it. Learn from it. Reconfigure. Winter teaches endurance. But endurance can feel lonely. Because when you appear strong, people assume you don't need support. February-born individuals sometimes carry their own weight too long. They hesitate to ask for help. Not out of pride, out of habit. Have you ever noticed how they're the safe space for others, but rarely the one who unloads first? And humor. Let's not forget that their humor is often dry, unexpected, slightly ironic. It disarms tension. It reveals intelligence. It protects vulnerability. Laughter becomes both bridge and shield. Now, let's address identity. Birth month doesn't determine destiny, but narratives shape behavior. If someone grows up identifying with traits of independence, uniqueness, emotional depth, they may cultivate those neural pathways more intentionally. Neuroplasticity research confirms that repeated thought patterns reinforce personality expressions over time. So perhaps being born in February is less about astrology and more about self-story. And stories are powerful. Here's the paradox. Again, they crave understanding, yet dislike being categorized. They want closeness, yet guard their inner world. They think ahead, yet live quietly. They are winter light. Not loud sunshine, but steady, reflective, illuminating edges others miss. Have you ever wondered why, February-born people often attract intense friendships rather than casual ones because depth recognizes depth, and they rarely operate on the surface. They would rather have 2 real conversations than 20 shallow ones. And maybe that's the core psychology here. They are built for depth, not noise. If you were born in February, maybe you've spent years wondering why you never quite fit the mold, why your mind runs sideways instead of straight, why you need space and connection in equal measure. Maybe there were moments you tried to soften your edges, to be simpler, easier, less intense, but winter doesn't apologize for being wintered. It holds the ground still so something stronger can grow underneath. People born in February often carry that same quiet preparation. They are thinkers, observers, loyal hearts wrapped in independence. They don't bloom loudly. They unfold slowly and slowly last. So the next time you meet someone who feels calm but complex, distant yet deeply present, independent but profoundly caring, you might be looking at February. Energy, not cold, just deliberate. And if this felt like a mirror, stay curious. Explore more. Share your reflections. Sometimes understanding yourself is less about changing who you are, and more about finally recognizing the pattern you've been living all along.